Secrets are about to explode. Shocking betrayals, unexpected returns, and life-changing twists await on today's General Hospital spoilers. Don't blink, you won't see this coming. The latest developments have me particularly fascinated. It seems Peter is reaching out from beyond the grave. Not in the physical sense, but through letters and psychological manipulation that are stirring up fresh chaos. These letters connected to Anna are causing new explosions in the plot, and I find myself wondering how much of this is Anna's own fractured perception, and how much might be part of a larger, calculated game. After everything that happened with her captivity and the terrible influence of Ross Cullum at Windermere, Anna is clearly not the same woman we once knew. She speaks confidently about being ready to leave the treatment facility in France, yet those of us who have followed her journey closely can see the cracks. She is holding herself together on the surface while battling something much darker underneath. What strikes me most is how the writers are weaving Peter back into Anna's life through these haunting illusions and mysterious communications. Peter may be gone in body, but in Anna's mind he lingers, offering advice that sounds caring on the surface but leads her down dangerous paths. I can easily picture him whispering to her that she should trust no one, not Felicia, not Emma, not anyone who truly cares for her. He would tell her that only her own instincts matter, even as those instincts have been twisted by trauma and manipulation. This version of Peter inside her head is both chilling and brilliant storytelling. It creates a private war that Anna must fight while trying to appear normal to everyone around her. The fact that Emma and Felicia have started receiving letters tied to Anna adds another layer of tension that has me on the edge of my seat. These letters are creating new obsessions and raising the possibility that Anna might actually find a way to escape her current situation. Is this a genuine cry for help from Anna, or is it part of Peter's lingering calculations designed to pull her loved ones into the web? I have seen many stories over the years where a character's past comes back to haunt them, but this one feels different because it is happening inside Anna's own mind. It is intimate, psychological, and deeply personal. I remember when Anna was the fierce, capable agent who always seemed several steps ahead of her enemies. Now, she is vulnerable in a way that breaks my heart, but also makes her more relatable. After all, who among us hasn't questioned their own judgment during difficult times? The long-term effects of her imprisonment and Cullum's psychological games are starting to show, just as the head writers promised. Any happy reunion with friends and family will be tainted by these unreliable voices in her head. That creates such rich, dramatic possibilities. Will Anna make decisions that shock everyone because she is listening to Peter's twisted guidance? I believe she might. And that prospect both excites and worries me as a longtime viewer. One thing I particularly appreciate is how the show is exploring mental health with sensitivity while still delivering the suspense we soap fans crave. Anna is not written as weak. She is written as someone fighting an invisible battle with incredible strength. The way she tries to maintain a composed exterior while secretly dealing with visions of Peter is heartbreaking and thrilling at the same time. I find myself talking back to the screen sometimes, urging her to reach out to Felicia, who has always been such a loyal friend, or to trust the bond she shares with Emma. Yet I understand why she might hesitate if Peter's voice is telling her otherwise. The situation is growing more complicated with each passing episode, and that is exactly what keeps me coming back. These new letters are not just plot devices. They represent the bridge between Anna's past traumas and her uncertain future. Peter's influence, even in death, continues to calculate and manipulate, creating fresh trouble that threatens to pull in everyone who loves Anna. I have seen characters return from the dead on this show before, but this ghostly psychological return feels more sophisticated and modern. It challenges Anna's very sense of reality, and by extension, challenges us as viewers to question what we think we know. Will Anna manage to break free from these illusions before they lead her to irreversible choices? I suspect the road ahead will be rocky, with moments of clarity mixed with devastating lapses. The possibility that she could act on Peter's dangerous advice while appearing perfectly normal to others opens the door to all kinds of shocking developments. Maybe she will push away the very people trying to save her. Maybe she will pursue a risky plan that only makes sense in her altered state of mind. Whatever happens, I trust the writers to handle it with the emotional depth this story deserves. As someone who has watched Anna evolve through countless adventures, romances, and heartbreaks, I feel invested in her recovery. She deserves peace after so many years of service and sacrifice. Yet, I also understand that great drama often comes from struggle, and right now the struggle inside Anna's mind is as compelling as any external threat she has ever faced. The arrival of these letters to Emma and Felicia suggests the story is expanding beyond Anna's private torment and into the lives of those closest to her. That is when General Hospital truly shines, when personal demons affect the entire community. I keep thinking about how Peter's presence, even as a hallucination, mirrors the way real trauma can echo long after the events have passed. It is a bold choice by the show, and one that sets this current arc apart from earlier stories involving Faison or other villains. This time, the enemy is within, and that makes it all the more terrifying and fascinating. I wonder what clues the letters contain, and whether they will ultimately help or harm Anna's chances of true healing. Whatever the answer, I am certain more surprises await us in the coming weeks. My hope is that Anna finds her way back to the strong, clear-thinking woman we have admired for decades. But I also know that the journey there will be filled with the kind of twists that make this show so addictive. Peter's lingering influence, the mysterious letters, and Anna's internal battle create a perfect storm of drama. I cannot wait to see how it all unfolds, and I will be watching every episode with my full attention, just as I have for all these years. There is nothing quite like the feeling of anticipation that General Hospital delivers when it gets a storyline this emotionally charged and psychologically complex. After everything she has endured, the psychological manipulation, the long stay in that French treatment facility, and the haunting presence of Peter in her mind, Anna has now escaped the clinic. She is in hiding underground, as they say, carefully positioning herself to ambush her enemies. This bold move marks a dramatic shift from her previous vulnerability to something far more proactive and dangerous. As a longtime viewer well into my 60s, I find this development both thrilling and deeply concerning. The way the story is unfolding feels authentic to Anna's character. She has always been a fighter, a woman who refuses to remain passive when threats loom over her and the people she loves. Escaping that facility shows she is reclaiming some sense of control, even if her mind is still fractured. Hiding underground to prepare an attack suggests she is drawing on all her old spy instincts, the very skills that made her such a formidable presence in Port Charles for so many years. Yet, I worry that Peter's lingering influence, those illusory voices urging her not to trust Felicia or Emma or anyone else, may be guiding her decisions more than she realizes. These new developments are creating fresh complications that ripple outward. The letters that reached Emma and Felicia are no longer isolated incidents. They now connect to Anna's daring escape and her secret plans. I can imagine the panic and confusion her loved ones must be feeling, receiving mysterious messages while Anna operates in the shadows. This underground strategy places her in a position to strike at her enemies, but it also invites new trouble. Every calculated risk she takes carries the potential for unintended consequences, and that is what keeps me glued to the screen. Will her ambush succeed? Or will it backfire spectacularly because her judgment remains clouded? What fascinates me most is how the writers are balancing Anna's strength with her fragility. She is not causing random danger for its own sake, but her actions are leading to precise new threats that could explode at any moment. The story is building toward major shocks, and I have a feeling we are only beginning to see the full scope of what Anna has set in motion. Peter's manipulative advice, even from beyond the grave, seems to be fueling her determination. He might be telling her that striking first is the only way to survive, that isolation is strength, and that trusting others would be fatal. If Anna is listening to that voice while hiding underground, the result could be explosive. I have seen many powerful women face dark chapters on this show, but Anna's current arc stands out because it feels so internal and personal. Her escape from France is not just a physical breakout. It is a declaration that she will no longer be contained, whether by doctors, trauma, or enemies. Yet operating from the shadows brings its own set of risks. What if her underground plans draw innocent people into the crossfire? What if Felicia and Emma, already worried after receiving those letters, decide to search for her and walk straight into danger? These questions swirl in my mind as I watch each episode, and they make the story incredibly compelling. As someone who has watched General Hospital through countless eras, I appreciate how this storyline honors Anna's history while pushing her into uncharted territory. The underground element adds a layer of suspense and mystery that reminds me of some of the classic intrigue from earlier decades, but with a modern psychological depth. Anna is preparing for a new offensive, and that offensive is already generating waves of trouble across Port Charles. The tension is mounting, and I believe we are heading towards some genuinely shocking revelations. One thing I particularly love is how this arc forces us to consider the cost of Anna's independence. She is trying to protect everyone by handling matters alone, yet her fractured state means her version of protection might look very different from what her friends would choose. The new events she is setting in motion are not without peril. Each step she takes underground could lead to a major confrontation that changes everything we think we know about her current condition. Will she emerge victorious, or will Peter's influence cause her to make a devastating miscalculation? I find myself deeply invested in Anna's fate. She deserves to heal and reconnect with the people who love her, especially Felicia and Emma. At the same time, I understand the dramatic necessity of this darker chapter. The escape, the hiding, and the planned ambush create a perfect storm of emotion and action that General Hospital delivers so well. The trouble is brewing. New shocks are clearly on the horizon, and Anna stands at the center of it all, more complex and compelling than ever. The beauty of this storyline lies in its unpredictability. Just when we think Anna might be turning a corner, her underground strategy introduces fresh dangers and moral dilemmas. I cannot wait to see how her loved ones respond when they learn of her escape and her plans. Will they try to pull her back to safety, or will they be forced to join her in the shadows? Whatever happens next, I know it will be worth every minute of watching. This is the kind of intense, character-driven drama that has kept me loyal to the show for over 40 years. And right now, Anna's story is burning brighter than ever.